Hi guys, it's Kit Kat here for that Man of Steel reveal that I promised you. The first of my superhero movies. Now, I just got back from seeing it for the second time because the first time around my mom and my brother got sick during the movie. So it caused us to leave like 20 minutes before the movie ended, so I missed a lot. But anyway, I'm going to jump right into this because you all know that I am a huge Clark Kent Superman hater. I do. I really do hate Clark Kent because he's God. He's like God. Let's face it. He has all the powers and he has one tiny piece of rock that's really hard to find as his weakness. Sure, people are his weakness, but that's really superheroes thing. All human beings are everybody's weaknesses. So he never was really that appealing to me, especially after seeing Young Justice being an ass most of the time. Just made me hate him a little bit more. Anyway, let's talk about the opening scene, which was in Krypton, which actually to me was pretty creepy. I was a little weirded out by some of the creatures I was seeing because, like, I'm used to seeing the anime version of Superman with all this really advanced technology, and you get the creatures and these weird flying things and URL rights, and I wasn't really getting it. But until seeing it, I was like, wait a minute, that makes a little more sense. You're trying to make it's an alien world. It makes a little bit more sense this way. The one thing that did weird me out a lot was the Kodak scene and babies that are in these sacks. Really weird, really creepy, and I'm glad they explained it later on because I was really confused by that because I was really disturbed. I was like, but this doesn't make sense. I do love Russell Crowe as Jor-El. I think he did a really good job. I don't know the actress for who played Laura or Laurel, but she was really good. And the actor for Zod, which is Michael something, I can't remember, I'm sorry. Michael, whatever, who played Zod, were all very good actors. And I thought they did amazing jobs. First of all, in that opening scene, especially with the guy who plays Zod, he's a very angry dictator. Zod always, I was never really into Zod, and I never really got onto his abilities, but after seeing this movie, I did. We get into Clark Kent, which is him on a, swear to God, it's like a Diddliest Catch moment. If you don't know what that show is, it's exactly the play on right there. And we get to meet Clark Kent, who is played by Henry Cavill. Cavill? Is that how you say it? I have one word. Hot. So hot he was in flames and he was still hot. Let me enjoy that for a second. But also that he looks like the person that originally played as Superman. Can't think of his name right now. Sorry, I'll figure it out later and put it in the description. But he looked very much like the original Superman, which is pretty interesting. Plus, he kind of, honestly, I don't think I could have picked anybody better to play Clark Kent or Superman. He's very good. He's got this kind look to him. He's embodies the personality a lot, and I think he did a really good job as Clark Kent. Especially like the bar scene where he takes his revenge but not beating the crap out of that dude. He just puts his truck into a multitude of fire poles. I mean, not fire poles, electricity poles. Found that hilarious. I think he's a sense of humor, and I did like how in certain scenes we're seeing flashbacks to his life, like when he was a little boy and he was freaking out in the classroom because he was seeing all these different things at once and freaking out, and I think that was really cool. That kind of shows that Superman is like all heroes, like Batman and Robin and Wonder Woman and the Green Lantern. They all had to train for a while to get a handle on their powers, and they're still training to get better and better, or just to keep up their antique. And it shows that it took him a while to get his powers in gear. And I think my favorite scene was just the bus scene, and we get to see Lana, his high school sweetheart or his high school crush, his best friend, and the whole bus scene was actually pretty interesting, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and it was almost, I didn't like the scene after it where we had him at the parents' house and we had that redheaded boy's mother saying it's an act of God. It was like saying, how dare he be different? How dare he save that boy's life? Like, I mean, I understand why why Jonathan or Paul was doing it. I understand why he was protecting his son. I understand that. I think every parent who ever knew that their kid was a superhero would try to protect them in the same exact way. And it was very interesting. And I just think that whole scene was really clever. I think the whole concepts were really clever and how they were doing it, how he kind of just passed through. Um, I had my concerns. A lot of my concerns. One about this movie, because I'm not a huge Superman fan. But Amy Adams. No offense to Amy Adams, she's a good actress, but I haven't seen Amy Adams a lot of stuff. I've only seen her really in comedy roles, and so I don't know her as well as an actress. But she is a good actress. I was concerned about her playing Lois Lane, because we all know Lois. Lois is this badass reporter who takes nobody's shit. She's, again, I'm basing it kind of off the comics, but I'm also basing it off the movies and the animes I've seen of Lois. And she's always kind of the same. She's Lois Lane. She's this reporter. But the minute she said, let's stop measuring our dicks and get down to work, I knew instantly she was going to be really good as Lois Lane, and she was. She captured it perfectly, saying, I don't take your shit, I do kind of what I want to do, and I'm going to get what I want, and get my story, which is Lois Lane, and I kind of enjoyed it a lot. Even though I wish they had made her look a little bit more like Lois, but I guess I understand why. I didn't mean, you could have done a lot more. And I didn't really enjoy her. I enjoyed her style of dressing, but I did enjoy the heels. I know she wore heels a lot, but like seriously, if you could see them, I was paying attention to them because again, saw it for a second time. And they're like huge ass heels, and she's running in them, and I just couldn't understand that. I did love Perry. Perry was very interesting, but back at the spaceship, which makes me really excited because the first Easter egg that I noticed, because I did kind of see the comics online, and I have a lot of friends who tell me these things, but the open capsule, which if they're referring to it's the Man of Steel comic book following up with the movie, it thinks that Kara Zor-El is somewhere, or not Kara, but Kara, I think. Can't remember her last name, but Kara, if a Supergirl is somewhere on Earth, which made me really excited because Supergirl is one of my favorite female characters of all time. I love her, I love the character, I love everything about her. And so I was really excited about that. I love Superman's new suit. I like how it's a combination of his original kind of flat-lined suit with the giant red cape, but they got rid of the underpants and updated a little bit to the reboot version. Though I'm pissed at the reboot, I enjoy that they kind of updated the suit a little bit more to kind of fit with the world. And I also like how we get to see him trying to fly. Still kind of shows that he didn't get his powers at first. The other Easter eggs I would like to point out would be LexCorp was in there, which I'm really happy for. That means we're probably going to see Lex Luthor soon, which is a major villain, by the way. Kind of like Lex, because Lex always freaks me out in The Sims if I like you a lot. They also, if you really look closely, and I didn't see it the first time, I just kind of noticed it the second time because somebody had pointed out online at Movie Pilot, and it was the WGBS News, which they do all the stuff on the intergalactic galaxy kind of crap, which could be handy for the Justice League movie. Sorry, I dropped my pen. In the future, which could include Darkseid, another badass villain from the superhero and Justice League's run, which is awesome because Darkseid is so just dark. He's just amazing. And the other Easter egg was the 106 days that you see behind Superman when he's fighting Zod at the construction site. Now, see, I wouldn't point that out if they didn't have, I wouldn't have been pointing this out as an Easter egg if I didn't notice it not once, but they show it twice. Normally when they show something out more than once, it means it's kind of important. Or if they stay on something long enough, it means something's important and you should pay attention to that. Now whether this could be 106 days until they start shooting a new movie, or 106 days until something's going to be released in the comic book world, maybe hinting at a new movie's going to be starting, or a new movie's going to be going out, maybe first look at Justice League movie, or first look at Wonder Woman or Flash. You never know. So just pay attention to that and keep that one in mind, as I will. My favorite Easter egg, though, was the Wayne Enterprise symbol on the satellite, which you can see the W, and you automatically know Wayne Enterprises. And I enjoyed that a lot because Batman is one of my favorite characters, and I was really happy to see that he kind of made his way in there, even though he's not actually there. The one thing I really disliked about this movie was not the very ending, but the ending of, spoiler alert, Zod's death. Now, I would have been fine if it was an accidental, or if he did fit some back in his abandoned home, but I'm having a little problem accepting the fact that Superman killed somebody. Superman isn't a murderer, unless I saw the scene where he's trying to, but he could have easily moved Zod away, covered Zod, or done something else, and I don't know, just because of Superman's persona is that he doesn't kill. But after thinking about it a little bit more, I do notice that this was directed by Zack Snyder. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong. But also, the story was by Christopher Nolan, as well as produced by Christopher Nolan. So I was like, wait a minute. Christopher Nolan is my god, and I know him anywhere, and I know his styles in him, because Christopher Nolan probably had something to do with that. And I guess I understand it. It kind of follows the ending theme of Christopher Nolan's Batman series, where the superheroes are more human. They're more human-like, and therefore they're just more human, which makes a lot more sense to me. And I was thinking, yeah, I guess in that situation, if you had no other options, I guess. And I guess it kind of makes up for it that he's screaming and he's crying after he does it. And you have Lois hugging him from his own right. So I guess I can live with it. Just as long as he doesn't kill somebody else in that movie, because then I'm just gonna get mad, because that's not Superman's persona at all. I guess the ending, I was sitting in my seat and I was giggling because I loved this scene where he's like, I'm gonna get a job at a place where I'm not endangered, not all the time working with it, someplace I can keep my eye on things. You can see him pulling up in a bicycle, wearing a suit, and I loved it. I was laughing my ass off so hard and being the little fangirl that I am when he pulls out the glasses. And I just love how they're doing the dumbass thing where you have Perry, can't remember the older guy's name, trying to get with the tickets, and Jenny looking at him like he's some new guy we've never met. And they got a good close-up of him earlier as Superman, so I was dying of laughter. And I love how Lois immediately kind of snaps in her head, like that. So I did enjoy this quite much, although I wish they had thrown in when she starts calling him Smallville, which is always my favorite thing about it. And I also enjoyed one of the other clips, which is him and Swanwick, where he floors the satellite down, like, really, dude? Like, really? I've been here for 33 years in Kansas, and I haven't done anything. I'm good. You don't have to worry about me. So I did like that, how he lays down the law. Alright, guys, this is the end of my first review for Superhero Weekend. Next up will be the Dark Knight Trilogy. Again, I'll put the link somewhere down whenever it gets posted up. But I did enjoy this movie. I think Zach did a great job on it, and I think Henry and Amy and all the other actors did an amazing, fantastic job on the movie. And it was overall really good. It made me like Superman a lot more because it made him more human. And that's it for my review. Thanks, guys.